The enemy is all around you, and they are trying to get down deep in your soul. Did you know? Your soul's alive inside you that lives forever. They want to see it bound to the heart, yeah. You gotta open up your mind and unlock the door. From the garden to my guitar, we're in a war.
What is going on, Wimpkin? Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and others. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. We have a good show tonight. Olivia is off. We have got myself in the house. I'm here. Hope everyone's safe. We're going to try to add chat, but I don't like the way that looks. Got just a few seconds to work this. Perspective, blend mode, transition. No. Nothing's good. Nothing's good. Might have to wave off. Edit widget. 16 seconds to make a decision. Nah, we're going to wave off. I don't like it. I'll have to play around with it, folks. We'll see you in 3 seconds. We'll be back. Step into a Webkin.
Here, check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The DUM Show and his website, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Please do me a favor, spam some chatty chat. Let's see what happens here. I just want to see if we'll take the first part of the show here and see if I can create a chat box that works, at least on my nights that I don't have anybody here, because it's going to make it easier. Could you guys like spam me, spam? Let's see. It's supposed to show your icon. And I don't see the icon. Interesting. Let's see. Turn that off. Turn that on. I don't love the colors. Okay, we're going to refresh this and see if this works. Sorry, guys. I'm working. If there's no sound for you, leave and come back. Okay, now it's green. What the hell? Like, what's it trying to prove here? And why is everybody's name? Oh, I know why. Hold on. Maybe the icons are on the right-hand side. Maybe it's just this gigantic full width. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that thing. Okay, so that doesn't work. So maybe if we make it... Oh, shit. So maybe if I... Sorry, folks. We're playing here. You guys can handle it. I know you can handle this. What if we did 600 width and hit save? Would that make a difference? Okay, start sending some shite. Hey, ooh, that's better. Ooh, that's much. Okay. Now the question is it dark enough? Is it dark enough? That's not bad. Can you shrink from the other side? Sure, if it's cold enough. I mean, I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, so that shows moderators. That's kind of cool. I'm wondering, everybody can see it. Very cool, can see it just fine. Matt, what do you do when you sure like Trump live? What? I don't understand. Harp. Oh God, here we go. Harp. I'm wondering, you know what I can do? Let me just try. Folks, this show is not always going to be as dialed in as we would like it to be. And in this case, it is no exception. All right, so we're going to put that there. We're going to take this thing and we're going to trim it down. And let's get the top where it needs to be. Then we're going to bring that right there. Make that a little bigger. That's what she said. And then we'll bring it in a little bit. All right. Now we should be able to take this thing and no, that's not what I want to do. We're working on it. We're getting there. Okay. So we're going to do gradient. And then we're going to do a dark gray. Give it a dark gray. Just a little touch up. Just a little touch up. Okay, then we're going to put that right there. Okay, so that needs to be a little darker. And then we're almost there. Okay, so you can still see through it. Oh. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, so now I got to take off the border. The border's driving me crazy. It's going to be a blue. Let's go, baby blue. Nope. Darker blue. Yep. There it is. All right. Okay, so wait. Somebody just said, be patient with a dumbass in charge of the show. Come on now. Who said that? I got to find out who said that so I can kick him in the ass. Hold on. Oh, I can't get the comment. That's okay. Mods will narc you off. Mods, who said it? All right, that doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, that gives us a little bit of chat on the big window. I can even move this over a little bit. And we can make this just a little bit bigger. Now everyone should be able to see it. Okay? All right, that's not too bad. Yeah, sorry, I've got these new tools that allow me to kind of show everybody the chat and everything else. So that's not too bad. That's cool. Looks great. All right, great. Well, at least it's up for now, and we'll decide if we want to have it up. I think on videos it's too distracting, but it's good enough. Tommy said it. You son of a bitch, Tommy. God. Yeah, I know. All right, I gotta stop playing with this. We got work to do. All right, so we got a busy night. We got a lot to do. Let's get to it. Karen says, when I go to comments, it freezes. You shouldn't have any problem with comments. Shouldn't have any comments. This won't affect that. This is just a passive program that puts in comments. Should be no problemo at all. So not sure what you're facing, but all right. Well, first of all, I hope everyone's safe in Florida. That's number one. I know there is a lot of craziness going on right now. I know a lot of people are trying to figure out where they're going to be. We have a lot of viewers in Florida. So if you are in Florida, first of all, get out. I know we've got flights leaving Orlando still, I believe until like 2 a.m. And I think Miami International had, maybe not Miami, Tampa Bay, excuse me, canceled flights, but I think they had 2,000 flights to send out. If anyone is in an emergency situation and are struggling with dollars or whatever to do this, please hit me up and we'll figure it out together. I want everyone to have a chance to get out of there if they can. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this thing is huge. I know a lot of people might be stuck in traffic, but even if you get 2 hours north of where this hurricane could hit, you just get out of the epicenter and the evacuation areas. Just at least do that. That's the least you can do. Ensure that there's a hurricane shelter and just get out of any of the big places. Folks, to let you know, the Don't Unfriend Me Show, thedumshow.com/donate. We are 100% funded by our listeners. So if you could do me a favor, if you have donated to the hurricane relief funds, local veteran groups, you guys are doing fine for Christmas. You got some ideas what you're going to do. If you would not mind, you can help fund the show. We're now at 199,109. We're almost at 200,000 on Facebook, but Facebook throttles the shit out of us. But we're excited for that. If you would not mind helping us out, we would appreciate it. We have a goal tonight of $200, and that's what we think it's fair with streaming costs and software and everything else. It costs a lot per show, so we hope that you will help us out. Well, let's go see what we can talk about. Let's see what trouble we can get into tonight. We got a bunch of different things to review and go over. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but if you went over to CNN or Fox or anywhere else, there were plenty of videos today. I had a chance to see the 60-minute interview with Kamala Harris, and holy shit, what a shit show. It was horrible. I don't think I've ever seen something so abysmally bad. That woman is just a soup sandwich. She's incredibly horrible. And Joe Biden has had enough. I think Joe Biden is like, listen, I've done everything I need to do. I've accommodated this woman. She's horrible. And I'm out. He has trolled her twice now. And he just got done saying that Ron DeSantis has his direct number and is doing a great job on hurricane response, and just completely undercutted Kamala, because Kamala put out that Ron DeSantis, I'll show you. Let me just show you what she put out. I mean, this is incredible how stupid this is. Let me move this chat box. Thank you, Bobby Richardson. Every night, Bobby. You, Kev, Mel. I mean, there's so many people who just, Melanie, everybody seems to just pitch in. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and move this chat out of this window, because I'm going to keep it here, but I'm not going to put it in the video window. Oh yeah, that needs to go on top. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and switch to this. Oh, you know what I need to do? This is going to get... No, this should be fine. It's not going to get noisy. Let me just see if I have. This is going to play the music. Hold on, folks. Sorry.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia Geopolitics.
All right, that wasn't too bad. All right, we'll get that set up right there. All right, that should open up for the next time we come back. All right, so Kamala Harris had a message. Now, here's the problem, is I understand political theater. It's fine. It happens every year. And it always is just that, political theater. But, you know, they sit here and say that Donald Trump is using the hurricane for personal political gain. If you say 3 days before this massive hurricane, like one of the biggest hurricanes that Florida's ever seen, in a way that hasn't happened in 100 years, and you're the governor and you're preparing for this. Now, here's just I just want to give you the basics of what an evacuation will look like, okay? In a major state for a hurricane or a fire or, you know, in an earthquake, whatever it would be. Just coordinating the state level. You are responsible for coordinating the state police. You are responsible for covering emergency response. Sheriffs, city, mayors take care of city, actually. Governor is responsible for the National Guard, is responsible for CDOT or any type of transportation. The FAA, from a state perspective, for local airports, non-international airports. Blood banks, food banks, distribution of water, electrical, power, gas. All of these things are under the governor's responsibility. That is just like logistics. That's not even, you know, working with the federal government, the hospitals, Red Cross, FEMA, whatever it may be. The governor is effing busy, and the governor has a shit ton to do. And the best way for me to describe it to people who don't seem to understand this type of stuff, and this isn't a knock on anybody, but the best way to describe it is the president is not the president of the people. Everyone gets, I've said this 100 times. And what I mean by that is that the president's responsibility is not the individual states and the people in it. That's the governor's responsibility. The president truly should be the president of the governors, because that's really what it is. The governors all report to the president of the United States, and then the governor is supposed to report to the constituents. That's the way it works. So when you're looking at who is the president of the people, it's the individual state governors. That is the way it is. So when you are like, okay, well, the president of the United States is a really busy guy. That's absolutely true. Governors are extremely busy too, because not only do they govern their state, they also have a responsibility to the other 49 governors in those states to ensure that they are making policy that's based on precedent, that they're making decisions that are based on positive results and learning from each other, being learning agile. So when Ron DeSantis gets a phone call from Kamala, Kamala is the person who said that she hasn't done anything, that she's not responsible, that she can't make any policy changes. That's what all the Democrats are saying. However, when something happens that's somewhat right in the administration, of course, Kamala did it. But when it's wrong, like the border or inflation or what's going on in the world or falling apart in the Middle East or China or relationships with Ukraine and Russia, whatever, that's not my fault. I'm the vice president. I can't do anything. So why should Ron DeSantis pick up the phone and talk to your ass if you have nothing that you can do to help him? You've said you have absolutely no responsibility as vice president whatsoever, that you're unable to change anything. So if you're not able to change anything, why the fuck should he pick up the phone? And here's the deal, is that he denied it. He's like, I never heard from Kamala. She never asked to speak to me. What the hell is she talking about? I don't know what the hell she's talking about. So here's Kamala Harris calling Ron DeSantis a liar. Now, Ron DeSantis is a lot of things, okay? A liar isn't one of them. Ron DeSantis is an amazing governor and honestly probably should be president-elect. I understand that people don't want to hear that, but listen, Trump very well may win. It's going to be hard. And I told you that they can't allow him to take office. That I believe that constitutionally they will go after him in the 25th Amendment and they will find some reason not to confirm his presidency and they will tie it up in courts. I'm just letting you know. This isn't going to be an easy, heavy weareth the crown. You know what I mean? I think if it was Ron DeSantis, this would go down a lot easier for the Democrats. I think Joe Biden would have stayed in. He would have taken his licking. But this was a Hail Mary desperation attempt to kind of do a switch 22 on the American public. And it's not working. I'm letting you know. The media can say whatever they want. These poll numbers are atrocious. What's going on in the swing states? She doesn't have a big enough lead. And let's remember, there's no president in U.S. history that is behind 6 months to the election, whether they have that candidate or that candidate, their favorability is high, low, in between. If they have the swing states completely lost and they are going to the opposition, nobody's ever won an election in U.S. history. Kamala Harris isn't far enough removed from Biden. And I think the American public know. And the longer this goes, I told you this when she started running, the easier it's going to be for people to remember why they hate her. Because they do. They despise this lady. Here's what she said. Take a listen to this bull crap. She said a lot the last couple days. Here it is. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Here it comes.
Be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I mean, I'm done mincing words. You know, Justin Barclay, who I've been going back and forth with trying to get him on the show, who I just love. I love Justin. I want him to come on the show. He said, yeah, I'd love to. Then I sent him an email and then people get busy. I get busy. I understand. Hung Kao is pissing me off, actually. I'm about ready to make what's he afraid of? I mean, we just want to have a great conversation with him. I don't even want to play gotcha with him. What the hell is he doing? Why is he ducking me? We'll send a third email. But she has no business. First of all, Ron DeSantis isn't running for office against Kamala Harris. It's Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis is 3 days out. The last thing what's he going to do? Hey, Kamala, how you doing? What's going on? I know I could be talking to FEMA. I know I could be talking to the Red Cross. I know I could be coordinating Civil Air Patrol. I know I could be coordinating with the local weather stations and the local weather predictions. I know I could go ahead and be working on the emergency broadcast system. But since you called me, hey, girl, what's going on, girl? You're powerless. You can't do anything. You've never done anything. You said that you have no power whatsoever as vice president to implement any policy. You don't hold the purse strings as being state legislature. You're not Congress. You said you can't get any money approved without Congress. So what good are you? You're useless. I seriously doubt that he needs a video conference with you on a stripper pole. I don't mean to be so rude, but I'm done with this. Like I said, Justin Barclay said it best. He said, as far as Christians, I saw the same poll. And I put up a video or a little clip that talked about Christians. Are you really going to put this woman in office? And Justin immediately jumped in. He's like, dude, there's a recent poll that Christians, only 51% are going to vote. What the hell's wrong with you? That means that there are people in here who consider them Christians who are not going to vote. Who's not going to vote? Tell me here. Which people in this group are not going to vote? Because I find it really hard to believe that there is anybody in this group who doesn't plan to vote. But if you don't plan to vote, will you let me know? And then you can call in 804-212-2208. Call in and tell me what the fuck you're thinking where you're not planning to vote. Now, if you're in Canada, don't call me, I'm from Canada. We get it. Help me understand. Why are you not going to vote? It doesn't make any sense. And then I got this other guy who's like, well, both of them are horrible. Donald Trump talks about eating dogs and cats and now ducks. And then you've got Kamala Harris. Yeah. But it comes down to this. What do you think of the last 4 years? And what do you think of 2016 to 2019, early 2020? What do you think? Which one did you like better? Who had more money in your pocket? Was the world more stabilized? Was opioid going down by the wayside and fentanyl was soon to follow? Was the border secure? What did it look like for jobs? What did it look like for your overall business? What did the energy overall flux? What did it look like? Was it up? Was it down? Was it left? Was it right? What about our oil reserves? And if the answer was that it was better 4 years ago, then what the hell are you doing? I don't care what your personal politics. I don't care if this guy, he diddles Laura Ingraham on Fox and they pan right and Donald Trump is boning Laura Ingraham. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he did something wrong. Because in the end, that doesn't do anything for me. My moral code is set. My integrity is set. I already know who I am. I don't need Donald Trump to be my moral leader. I don't need for him to be my God. I don't need to have him give me spiritual leadership. I need him to unfuck what is fucked. I'm done. I'm sorry. I know the language is a little harsh, but I don't care. I'm done fucking around. We should be mopping the floor with this lady. And yes, the self-inflicted wounds that Trump has done, that they need to stop. Most assuredly, they need to stop. But who cares? Oh, he's compromising on abortion. It's better than losing. He doesn't have to. How did he compromise in 2016? Yeah, he was one of the only presidents who got Roe v. Wade overturned by his appointments. I think we're going to be fine. I think Donald Trump should promise anything to the moon right now when it comes to abortion and then just not change a damn thing. Because honestly, he has no control over it anyway. It's back with the states. Even if Donald Trump wanted to write an executive order that says abortion's illegal federally, that doesn't matter. He can write them till the cows come home. He can sign them all day long. It doesn't matter. He has absolutely no jurisdiction over the states. So all these women that are like, oh, he's going to take away abortion. They're going to have coat hangers in the alley. No, they're not. And if they are, then move. If you're so fucking irresponsible that you can't close your legs and you just know in the next 4 years you're going to get pregnant and you just know, oh my God, I got to feel. Well, then maybe you should take some precautions. We're not living in the prehistoric age here. You're not getting hit over the head with a club and dragged into the local cave for a debauchery of a love relationship that basically starts with a bunch of grunts and you get hit over the head. You have a plan here. You could just not have sex. And then if you can't, you can use contraception. Triple up, double up. Man, I would get that ring. I'd be on the pill. I'd get the patch. I'd tie a piece of string around a washer and spin it around my belly, whatever the fuck it takes. And lo and behold, that he actually wears a condom. Come on. Your whole premise of voting for Kamala Harris is so you can kill a baby? What the hell is wrong with people? When the hell did we move to a single issue country? Oh my God, we used to care about spending. We used to care about the budget, geopolitical situations, energy, the border, infrastructure, civil rights, free speech. Oh my God, what has happened? Education. Now, what do we care about? Nothing. Nothing at all. we have this stupid concept that oh, I'm going to get pregnant ad nauseum. I'm just going to walk down the street. Oh shit, honey, what happened? I got knocked up again. Honey, that's 12 times this month. I know. Well, guess what we're going to have to do, Susie? Oh, Richard, not again. Yeah. Oh, schnuckers. Do you want to drive me to the local Planned Parenthood? Sure, baby. Oh, Richard. What the fuck? Why are we making abortion the topic? It won't matter if we don't have anybody left. I mean, shouldn't we worry about education? Being in last place among the civilized countries as far as reading, writing, arithmetic, science. Shouldn't we focus on education and what a quagmire and a cesspool it has been? That it's a Democrat-ran just shithole with the unions? That it's never been successful? You know, people think the government is the answer. Well, let me tell you, it's not. And I'll give you a couple examples. Public education is one. Public education is a shit show. These people have a protected status after 3 years as teachers, no matter what they do. They aren't graded. They're grading people on their work, but they are not graded on their work alone. They're graded on their tenure. How long they've been a part of the teachers union. What if they're black, white, lesbian, man, woman, and they're given a score for importance based upon how many check marks in the protected class they are. That's how, well, if we do that, then all black kids should have straight A's. All women should have straight A's, and all the white kids should have F's. Well, that's what you're saying. And then when you grade the schoolwork, you know what you should do? Oh, Johnny, you got an F. Really? Yeah. We're going to give you an A. Why? Well, because you're a part of the union, sweetie. You're protected. You've got tenure. You're okay. But I've gotten F's for 16 years in a row. Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? They're just kids. You'll get new ones next year. Maybe it'll work out then. We'll just keep testing them and throwing more kids. Listen, you got 26 now. We'll give you 32. That should help. Should inspire you to do nothing even more. Government-run public education, the biggest shithole in the world. Why don't liberals want to get rid of it? Well, because it's one of the strongest unions in the fucking union. Every single person on the planet or in the United States knows somebody who's a teacher. And I'll tell you, they're amazing human beings, but fuck them, they suck. I'm sorry. Yes, collectively. Listen, Matt, don't say that about the teachers. The teachers are special. They do such a good job. They work 9 months out of the year, if you call that work. They show up at 7 o'clock in the morning. They go home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, they have to grade papers. Oh, the horror. Oh, the horror. Scan it in the AI. Have them grade it. Give me a break. They have weekends off. Do you know how hard that is? They have summers off. They have protected jobs where they don't have to do well. I'm sorry. When the Dallas Cowboys suck, I don't sit there and go, stop it. Dak Prescott's a really good guy. You can't hate the whole team because they have one good guy. They have 5 good guys. Teachers are failing our kids, and they suck at their jobs. And I'm sorry, it's not just their fault. I'm not just blaming teachers. I'm blaming the school districts. I'm blaming overall taxes. I'm blaming the federal government. I'm blaming the curriculum. I'm blaming the teachers union. All of it. They suck. Matt, you're so wrong. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You want to know why? Because look at the overall ratings for every major category for well-developed states. Yes, you do. I'm sorry. Yes, you do. Your numbers don't say that you're good at what you do. It doesn't matter that you're one good teacher. I didn't say that. I said the school systems completely suck and the teachers are failing. Whether you like that or not, I don't care. because the results have been bad for 74 years. We used to be one of the strongest countries in reading, writing, arithmetic, science, STEM. We were one of the best. What changed? Public schools. Public schools. It's not personal. Don't take it personal. And if you're upset, then what you should do is create a teachers union that actually holds the teachers accountable so you can stand up and say, here's what we've done. I've created a secondary group where teachers are going to leave the union, and the teachers are going to create a union that holds standards, the same standards that we hold our kids to. We expect our kids to complete their homework. We expect our kids to do well in school, and they will receive a grade that is strong. Why don't we have the same standard for our teachers? This isn't personal. I didn't say that teachers are evil. I didn't say that teachers are anything but they care. Of course they care. But you guys care more about the union than you do the students. Because if you cared more about the students, you would get rid of the union. You would expel the unions from your schools, and you would do it like you're supposed to. If you cared about the kids, you wouldn't have locked them down at home, and you would have showed up to school like all of us had to. You would have been there and taught the kids. And if you're one of those teachers who did, great. I'm not talking about you. If you were one of those teachers that put all the children first and didn't strike or didn't threaten the unions, then you're not a part of this conversation. I respect you. Hands off, salute. But I'm not wrong. Call me and tell me why I'm wrong. 804-212-2208. Because what you're going to do is you're going to give me a bunch of anecdotal nonsense about what you do. And you know what I'm going to say? Congratulations, you're a great teacher. But you're not the standard. The standard is that teachers test to the curriculum. They don't teach children how to think. They teach them what to think. They won't oppose the curriculum that they have. They won't stand up against the indoctrination that's taking place in these schools. They won't refuse the CRT and the 1619 Project bullshit. They will not stop the inequity or the equity, diversity, and inclusion trope. They'll allow LGBTQ flags to be put up in the classroom, but not the red, white, and blue. They want to teach revisionist history. Why am I wrong? Tell me why I'm wrong. Oh, well, Matt, it's the unions. Then fucking leave the unions. Strike against the unions. Grab teachers that are just like-minded like you, and you guys rise up and strike against the... You know you can form your own union? 31% is all you need to form your own union in the world. 30, you're already an established union. 33% is what you need to go ahead and establish a new union. Who's calling and why?
Matt, this is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
And I'm not... usually I'm agreeing with you about stuff, but I don't think you understand what the union's all about.
Okay, tell me what the union's all about.
The union helps safeguard us in case there's a lawsuit. The union is not all what we're about. In fact, a lot of us do not always go along with what they say. A lot of us are in it because we need to have that protection in case a student comes up and tries to sue us. I belong to one of the unions here in Oklahoma, and I don't agree completely with what the union is about, but I do agree with safeguarding what I need to make sure I safeguard in order to be able to teach our students. And no, we do not get to just work 9 months and have 3 months off. We work the whole year, whether we're planning, whether we're doing professional development or something. We are always busy doing something, trying to improve ourselves. Now, granted, not all the teachers are like that. You're right. But a lot of us are like that. And to say that we have this much time off, no, we don't. We are and the union does not always represent who we are as teachers.
Okay.
That is the whole thing about it is, yes, we may pay our dues to the union, but we are doing it so that if we have to take care of ourselves in a courtroom, we have a backing that we can count on.
Okay. So I worked retail for 25 years. I never had protection from a lawyer or a law firm. And I dealt with people in all sorts of cases, people who were burned by computers, people who had a house burned down by a computer, people who would come in and swing on one of my associates. I had customers hit me. I never had a lawyer. People at Subway don't have a lawyer. Air traffic controllers don't have a lawyer. Why do you need a lawyer?
Because if a student has a false accusation against us, that is one reason why we'll need a lawyer.
Welcome to the risk of working in today's society, but I don't understand why you need special privileges.
That's just part of what our union dues does for us.
Okay, so there you go. So that's a nice thing. That's a nice benefit, and I'm sure that's awesome. Okay, but there's also a lot of bad that comes with that. Do you believe in tenure?
Tenure is not in every single state. Tenure is only if you are able to get up to tenure, but it's not in every state.
I don't want to do semantics. We're talking about the overall. We're not going to talk about individual states that have pushed it away, because I know there's states like Idaho, I know there's states like Oklahoma, but predominantly the largest states, the largest cities, the largest areas, predominantly blue areas, have tenure. I'm asking you, and it's predominantly in the inner cities. I'm asking you a question. Do you believe in tenure? Do you think it's a good thing to have for teachers, that they can basically hit a milestone of time and are protected upon high like they're a protected class? Do you think that's okay?
No, it's not.
Okay, so we agree. So you disagree. I never mentioned anything about protection from a civil standpoint. I think teachers should be protected. I think my retail workers should be protected. I think a lot of people should be protected, but unfortunately, it's not the way it works. Do you also know that unless you're a part of a union for the police department, that some police departments don't have protection, like constables don't have protection? They have to go out there and they could be sued at any time. Military people don't. I mean, okay, so you agree that it is a benefit for teachers. Fine. Okay. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about striking? So if they told you to strike, would you strike?
We don't have a choice. We cannot be scabs.
So there you go. Okay. So you have no opinion. You're not allowed to have an opinion. So you have given up your freedoms for a little bit of security. Well, Benjamin Franklin warned us about that. The founding fathers warned us about that. And those that surrender their freedoms for security don't deserve either. I happen to believe that there should be nobody who makes you pay them money and then they tell you what you can and can't do. I don't think that's okay. I think it's wrong. And I think it's high time that we hold teachers accountable and get rid of the ones that are shitbags. You're not one of them. And there are plenty just like you. But you know what? It's not going to be us that does it. It's not some politician. You as teachers have to rise up and fight this. You have to stop paying your union dues. You have to go ahead and walk off and form your own group that actually is ran by teachers and protected by teachers. But listen, kiddo, I didn't say all teachers are bad, but I'm telling you, you guys are failing because they will not hold the ones accountable that need to go. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm crazy.
At this point, I really can't. I was thinking that I could, but nope, I can't. You're right.
I love you. Holly Raymond is one of the most amazing teachers. She is just a doll. Miss Rothamel is an absolute doll. The teachers, Miss Washington, who my daughter goes to, I didn't say all teachers are bad. What I'm saying is as a collective, the public school system is an abysmal failure. Yes or no?
You're right.
Okay. Then let's
now
stop.
The students are not getting everything they need.
That's right. And it's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. I know teachers take money out of their pay to buy supplies. I know teachers take money out of their pay to cover a kid on a school trip. I know all this. I know what teachers do. They're amazing. But it's just as much as what parents do. It's just as much as what that Subway worker does who buys a homeless person a sandwich. It doesn't excuse a gross neglect to allow the United States over the last 75 years to have literally a hockey stick down in our public educational system. It's a failure. We need school choice. We need vouchers. We need private schools. We need to incentivize parents to homeschool and give them that $15,000 a year that these students get. It's high time that we stopped destroying the free market when it comes to education, because right now it's a monopoly. And the only reason they don't want it, kiddo, is the amount of money that the Democratic Party gets. It's their largest donor are teachers.
Very true.
Okay. How's Oklahoma?
I cannot argue.
How's Oklahoma? How are you feeling?
Right now in Oklahoma, we are bottom of education all the way around.
Well, West Virginia is worse than you, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia.
So we are like number 49th.
Yeah.
We were. Huh?
Go ahead. Maybe you are worse than West Virginia. I think West Virginia is like 47 or 46 or some shit. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia's like top 5. Like, we have the best education system here. I thought Texas was good. Virginia is incredible. Like, we're not going to leave. We're paying a premium for it, but we were going to move to West Virginia, and we saw the school systems and said no. So okay, I appreciate you standing your ground. I appreciate you arguing with me, because you know what, it is a good point that there are protections that you guys need that should be provided by the state automatically, that doesn't require a union. You should have workman's comp. That's a state-funded program. You should have the ability for work furlough. You should have educational reimbursement for you for extended education. That's a state program. Why wouldn't they go ahead and put the legal ease behind you as teachers? I don't understand. I don't think you need a union for that. But what do you think is going to move the needle forward? Like, what's the one thing that you think is going to help the education system where it is today as a teacher?
What we need to really be looking at is what can we do for the students that being able to get in there, apply, and stop doing all this mega testing.
Yeah. Because
if we're testing to the state test, what are we leaving off that the students really need? It's all about the test. It's not about whether the student might need this or that. It's all about the test. And students grow at a considerable different rate. And because you're doing the test, you're forgetting a big load of students that are like special needs that won't test to the test. We've finally got away from some of the Common Core stuff, but that's still not good enough. We need to get away. We need to figure out how these students are going to learn and teach to their learning so that at least they're getting the basics.
Don't you think we should curtail to the student? If we're going to test, don't you think we should test annually for teachers to be placed in students to be placed with a certain type of teacher, where if they are more focused on the overall mechanics of learning, which would be someone who is extremely high IQ, problem solving off the charts, has the root fundamentals of progression through English and history and math, that those people would get a teacher that are more mechanic driven. Or if they're more auditory learners, that they could go ahead and get a teacher who focuses on that, or visual learners or experiential learners. And then if they do see a deficit, like an overall, because here's the thing, someone who's really bad at English or really bad at math, it usually curtails to the other subjects at some point, because what happens is they get behind and then it accumulates and then it infects all their other courses. But shouldn't we find a way to test these kids at the beginning of the year and pairing them with the right teacher versus stuffing kids in classes alphabetically and assigning them to a teacher who may be shit at their job?
Thank you. That is exactly what it should be like.
Yeah, it should.
Because
it should.
For some of us, we're able to teach all different ways, but not every teacher can. Some teachers need to only teach to a certain group, whereas there are some of us that can teach to different levels. And then you also have some students that we should be almost like the European style.
Yes.
If they get tired and the students aren't willing to sit there, then go ahead and let them go on. don't force them to do anything if we're not, and just give them a trade. Not every student's going to go to college.
Right.
But get those in there that's going to actually do and work and want to learn.
That's a great point.
So,
like not everyone needs a trophy, but I remember there were times that there were people who were pre-suited to go through wood shop, to go through electrical. There's nothing wrong with that. Why can't we take a 16-year-old kid and say, listen, this person has an IQ of 108. Their deductive reasoning's off. They're not excelling at academia, but they're very, very good at the trade skills. Let's move this 16-year-old in a trade school. That way, when they're 18 years old, they can come out with at least a path to trade. They'll do one more in a full trade school to kind of certify and get all their testing and their state licensing, and have these kids ready to go into crane operators, into plumbers, into HVAC. Why not? Instead of allowing them to go work at McDonald's for fucking 5 years and realize that they are never going to get that foot up until they get that supervisor type experience to grow confidence and make their decision of, wow, I need to go back to school and get into a trade, or I need to clean myself up and I need to start going back to school for business so I can become a manager. Those things happen too late. Why not identify these kids at 16 and get them in a trade?
exactly. And then that way they're not wasting their time.
Yeah, right.
And
And
that's
teachers
really what
will
we
have
need
less
to do.
Well, there you go. See, this is why we call in, because we do agree. We just don't. I'm ripping a Band-Aid off. I'm done saying all teachers are just magical. No, they're not. They're not. Otherwise,
No,
we
they're
would
not.
we would excel.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them go into it thinking that that's a good way to get a job, and it's not.
Right.
But some teachers just, I'm sorry, they suck. They getting in there and yelling at students and doing stuff like that is not going to help the students. You're going to turn the student off.
Yes.
You need to know how to do your interpersonal and your soft skills and all that before you to actually teach.
Right. I mean,
And if they're not,
Go ahead.
If you can't get that down, there's no reason to even be in the classroom.
European model is also good, is that instead of having a TA or some kid earning credit for collecting, and grading tests or whatever it would be, but put 2 teachers in a classroom and start firing the ones that are shit. You have the ability to do like an Alpha Bravo classroom. You could have one teacher who comes in for the 1 hour, 30 minutes, takes on lesson planning. The other one is focused on actually teaching the lessons plan. Then they switch, whatever it is. But having 2 teachers per classroom, you can increase the class maybe to 45. You can divide the class, which allows you to go ahead and do different types of learning, whether it's visual-based, auditory-based, or hands-on experience. And that's the way that people learn. My executive leadership classes, whenever we were having 3,000 people, we'd break up into groups, and those groups would based upon our weaknesses. If we were shit at selling add-ons, we were put into one group for sales. If we were horrible at doing PDP and reviews, we'd be put in that group. If we were bad at gross revenue and margin increases or SWOT or whatever it would be, we would get a class curtailed to our weakness, not collective group strength. And that's the problem. And what a lot of major companies do is they excel at like warranties, right? And they're really good at it as a company, but it's only a few regions that are carrying them, and they're neglecting the other ones. And that is the kiss of death, because ultimately, as those regions grow, their impact will be exponentially worse for your company. Well, the same thing is with kids in school. This isn't a hard problem to solve. It just takes the teachers to stand up for themselves and say, you know what? We're striking against the unions and we're done. And if you want to fire us, you can fire us, but we're done. And the problem is that really, when it comes down to it, Elizabeth, we learned it with COVID, is that these teachers care about themselves and not the kids. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But and I know you're not talking about all of us, but that's
right.
a big point. So. And it's sad. It's very, very sad, because just think how long I begged for this job.
Yeah.
You know that we've been together for 3 years, and how long did I beg to be in the classroom?
Right. Listen,
So,
and you are the exception, right? Like I said, just because you've got a team full of knuckleheads and you've got one all-star, it doesn't correlate to the entire team. You can love that all-star, But you have to rate the team on their performance. And right now, public education is an abysmal failure. Michelle Leinberger says, no, I disagree. Can't label kids that way. I didn't say label kids. My high school did that, told my parents I needed to go into a work-study program because I was not college material. I did work-study program senior year, but here's the thing, Michelle, is you at least had the option to go into a work-study, and you wound up being motivated by it. I failed and went out of high school when I had the option, and the military taught me, and then I went into college, and I had a 4.23. So, see, this is the thing. Sometimes what you need is your options removed in order to go ahead and wake yourself up. But you own that you were not performing up to snuff to be college level. And you're like, fuck this. I'm going to go do better. I'm going to show them what I can do. And that's all the motivation you needed. There's other kids who don't have those options who will never be inspired to do better or go to college because they don't have any options. What I'm saying is get more options. It's not one answer. This is a multifaceted problem without one solution. There is no Band-Aid to fix this. We have to take this as triage. And we have got to impact all the major organs. We've got to look at every possibility. We've got to test for every possibility and get these kids focused in the right learning environment with the right type of teachers, with the right type of options and availability to be successful versus testing them out on Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and he slipped on a rock and broke his cock in 1492. Great. That's wonderful, but that doesn't do me fucking anything to balance the checkbook or to go into secondary education or have practical knowledge on how to be self-aware or impactful as a leader or have team building skills. We've got to do a better job. That's it.
Mm-hmm. We
Okay.
do.
Elizabeth, appreciate you calling.
Thanks. You're very right on that.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and write the bill and we can get it. We can get it all taken care of. I appreciate you calling, hon. How's your foot?
Well, tomorrow I get my stitches out.
But you're healing up okay?
So, yes, I'm supposed to be getting my stitches out tomorrow, and it's looking pretty good. It's just a little bit more time, and hopefully I'll be on the mend.
All right, buddy. Well, God bless. Take care of yourself and keep rocking and rolling. Let me know if you need anything. I always appreciate you reached out and let me know how you are.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
You got it. Thanks for calling and not getting upset and leaving me. I like that. Thank you, ma'am. Bye. It's not that hard. You disagree with me. Great. Who cares? Call. And we're gonna have a conversation. And we may not agree. Who cares? Folks, I gotta love Elizabeth because Elizabeth has been watching this show for a long time. And she lives on the res and she gets an unfair shake. But man, you know what? It's the first time she's ever really disagreed. No, I don't agree with you. We're going to have an argument. And we didn't. I let her finish. I let her say the things she said. And I said, okay, here's my thoughts. And then we came to an amicable solution. This isn't hard. And this is what it takes. It just takes people talking who care about each other. Like the one person who left and was pissed. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if that upsets you. What I care about is that it upsets you and you do something about it. Because any other job, if you're a bus driver and you miss 30% of your stops, you're not going to be a bus driver much longer. If you're a Subway sandwich artist and you forget tomatoes and onions on 30% of your sandwiches, you're not going to be a Subway artist much longer. And if you fail 30% of your prosecutorial cases for the state, you're not going to be a state prosecutor much longer. Nobody would ever have job security with a C+ average or a C average. Nobody. It's satisfactory. And that is what the national average is on kids in school. C average. It's not okay. It needs to change. And the only way we're going to change is to speak about it truthfully. Teachers are failing our kids. They are where the rubber meets the road. They are it. I don't care what the state does. I don't care what unions do. You are responsible for teaching my kids and holding them accountable to be successful. And if you're not doing that, then you are failing them. It's just honest. It's just honest. It's good talk. Appreciate it. Always I always love that. I would much rather have somebody call in and disagree than just disappear and say, screw Matt, I don't want to hear it anymore. Because listen, here's the thing. If you're a new viewer, I'm going to piss you off. I've been called off-putting. By the way, love seeing all those people on Twitter. Thank you so much for being here. I am off-putting. And the reason I'm off-putting is because you're not used to it. Nobody talks like this anymore. Nobody's afraid just to be blunt and honest and say, this is bullshit. We've got to get better as a society. We have got to start calling out failures. I care very much about teachers. I care very much about single mothers. I care very much about air traffic controllers. They all have hard jobs. But air traffic controllers are expected to have like a 99.8% non-accidental workplace environment when it comes to their responsibility of their cargo and their payloads and what they're landing and navigating through the infrastructure of airports. And a stay-at-home mother is expected to raise her child, a disciplined child, a child who's not breaking the law, a child who is learning, a child who is well-fed. We all have standards we have to live up to. Teachers are immune to it. Do you know how much and how excited I am that I am neck and neck with Deanna Lorraine on my Twitter feed? And she has like, I don't even know how much, but this is exciting to me. Because I was on her show a couple times. And I don't think she liked me very much because I didn't buy into the conspiracy theory shit. But that's exciting because I think her followers, and I don't mean to be petty, but to me, she's fairly popular. Yeah, she's got 300,000 followers. Let me say that again. She has 300,000 followers and she has 119 people on. I've got 5,200 followers and I've got 56 on. I'll take those numbers. I'll take Facebook. This is why I hate you, Facebook. Almost 200,000 people and I've got what on Facebook? Nothing. 63. Give me a break. Got another caller. Let's see if I get an earful. Hey, caller, where are you calling from? What's your name?
It's Maureen from South Carolina.
Hi, Maureen in South Carolina. How are you holding up? How you feeling?
I'm holding up pretty good. We're doing good. Now, if just Milton will stay away from South Carolina, would be great.
I think it's going to stay away. I think it's going to hopefully stay away. What do you want to talk about? Education? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. I don't know how to do this, but we really need to overhaul the pre-K to 12 school system. We've gotten away from teaching the kids the skills they need in order to think and evaluate. We completely teach to the test.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do not get your reading skills in, kindergarten, first and second grade, you're screwed.
That's right.
I mean, I'm in a special needs class, and one of my kids the first year I taught was only in that class because he couldn't read. He was a very bright young man, and he ended up aging out without any of the skills.
It's got to fall on the parents that, my mom, there's a lot that I can say about my mom. I'm not a huge fan, but I gotta say that she was fantastic at helping me read. And I read 150 books in the first grade, and we're not talking shit books, mind you. Little Indian in the Cupboard and The Littles and, Hardy Boys and stuff like that. We're not talking easy stuff. But I had a 12th grade reading level when I was in third grade. And I was horrible at school, Maureen. I failed out of fifth grade. I flunked fifth grade because of my attention deficit disorder and I was hyperactive. And then I flunked out of high school. And then the only reason I did well in high school, very similar to what Melanie said, is that I wanted to join the Navy and I took my GED. I nailed the GED. I had like the highest score in Colorado in like 4 years, nailed my GED, and then had my Navy contract signed. And then the U.S. Department of Defense came back and said, we're not taking GEDs, and even current contracts need to go back and get their high school diploma. So I went back and I did an entire year of my senior high school in 2 months. So sometimes, even though somebody can read, has high IQ, whatever, it's not the right time for them to be successful. Some people develop later. So I'm with you. I think the parents have a responsibility at a young age to help children read. So when that disconnect reconnects, that they have the options to self-motivate and go do what needs to be done. But if they don't have even the basic skill set of how to read or STEM, then they're never going to be able to do anything. So I don't believe in this no child left behind, but I think there is a no child neglected is something we should say.
And they need to rework those early grades because they expect kindergartners, first grade, to shut up and sit down and do what they're told. And that age child is not designed to just sit down and shut up.
No. So we medicate them, right? Or we put them in a special needs class like I did.
That's the first knee-jerk reaction is, oh, put them on medication.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I don't think we're going to solve it tonight, but I think there's a responsibility that we all have to start questioning. And I hate to say it, but I am involved in my child's education, and we talk every day. I'll help them with things and I'll help them find the answers, but we get involved in these teacher meetings. And when these teachers try to go there, I hold them accountable. They're like, well, your child won't sit down. I said, okay, well, then maybe you're boring. And it's not that I don't agree with you, but my child can sit through a 2-hour movie with no problem. So, and even an educational movie, the question is, are you making a monotonous experience where the child is dreading going to your class? Have you asked them, what is the least favorite thing about my class? Well, we hate when you just lecture us nonstop. Because if you ask kids, inherently at that age, they'll tell you if you give them permission, because they're fairly honest. And most of the time, we all had that class where we're like, oh God, I got to go to history with Mrs. Wormwood. And Mrs. Wormwood should get that feedback that she sucks. And she should be sent to some sort of program to help her get better at how to relate and how to educate her children in a different way. But that's the problem, is that they don't invest in these teachers. They just give them a degree and say, here you go. Well, what happens if you suck at motivating children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in the class that I'm in a self-contained high school special needs class. Mm-hmm. And we developed, the teacher and I, a math hunt. So they had 10 different stations, and the kids loved that because they got to get up, they got to move around, and it was still math problems at their skill level.
Yes.
But they loved that activity because they could get up, they could walk around, they could talk to each other.
Well, listen, I was in charge of regions where I had 3,000 employees. There's no fucking way that I could impact those employees' lives. It would require us to have a regional conference, which would happen once a year. What can I do? So my job was to create a hierarchy of leadership within my region, where my regional managers, as a VP, my regional managers would meet with me, and then every month, and then we would work on a certain skill set. And then their job was to go and teach, learn, leading out, which means they learn, they go ahead and lead it out to their staff. And then they inspect what they expect, right? They would go in and say, here are the things that I've learned, and I'm going to go out and teach it. Okay, go teach it. And then they would do the same thing with their district managers. Their district managers would do it with store managers. Store managers would do it with assistant managers. Assistant managers would do it with supervisor. And what you have is an institution of learning, and everybody gets on the same page. It's very military based. Well, the problem is in the school systems is your superintendent doesn't come out and speak to all the teachers and teach them new methods. This is the problem, is the hierarchy of leadership are a bunch of union pencil pushers that just expect you to check a box and have you read a pamphlet and say, okay, great, now you know it, go out and teach it. And there's no accountability, there's no follow-up, there's no SMART goals, there's no nothing that helps that teacher understand, hey, you just suck at this, and my job is to help you get better. There's none of that.
Yeah, and I remember hearing from my sister, who was 6 years older than me, that and my brother who was in Vietnam, that a lot of teachers took teaching in college to get out of the military, and they decided the easiest course of study was teaching. They had no interest. They had no, desire to work with children. It was just the easiest course load.
Right.
Which is a sad state of, because they got all the way through, and now they're in classrooms, and that's a sad thing for kids.
Yeah, it is. Well, I appreciate it. We got a lot of people interested in this topic because numbers just went through the roof. It's nice to see. Deanna has 300 people on. Still, she has a lot more people than I do. But either way, I appreciate you, Maureen. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe and keep us in touch. And I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you.
You got it, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye. So this got us off on a topic that's way off course, but that's okay. It's still important. Tammy, I've been reading everything you're adding. There's great stuff. If you guys haven't had a chance to read Tammy's comments, she's got some good ones. Everybody's doing great stuff. But thanks for sharing. Here's Joe Biden throwing Kamala under the bus real quick. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to create another window. And I'm just going to lay it over this one. And see if I can make it a square. And that way, we can just stay on this screen and keep the chat up so we don't have to keep refreshing it, you know what I mean? Okay, so that goes... That's not too bad. Yeah, that works. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Boom. And bring it down a little bit. Sorry. You know me, anal retentive. And then this thing has to come to the front. Okay, there we go. All right. So now I should be able to play it. Here we go.
This is the governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. And I literally gave my personal phone number to call. So I don't know. There was a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida to North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supportive and acknowledged what this team is doing. And they're doing an incredible job. But we got a lot more to do.
Wow. Kind of threw old Kamala under the bus there. Okay, shut up. Folks, do me a favor. We kind of went off on that topic. TheDumbShow.com/donate. Facebook has taken 90% of our revenue and cut the legs out from underneath us. We have started smaller goals each night. We have hit 8 nights in a row. We're looking to hit 9. We are about, about 40, 45% there at $73.59. Let me see. That's 5. That's 10, 20. That's, about 40% there. So if we have some very kind donators out there that want to go ahead and help, you go to thedumbshow.com/donate. You can use PayPal or Venmo, whether it's $1 or $10, $100, $1,000, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, please take care of yourself. Put your oxygen on first. If you want to help out the Dumb Show, you keep it free and make sure that we can keep bringing you great content. This is how we do it since Facebook has decided to demonetize us for telling the truth, because everyone knows that's all we do. We don't lie. We don't talk about a conspiracy theory. We don't try to sell you a bunch of bullshit. We just try to cover the things and have great conversations with a very cool community. You want to help out the Dumb Show, that's how you do it. Here is an interesting, staying on this topic, is CNN just absolutely destroyed Kamala Harris. Went after her in spades. I'm going to show this to you real quick and take a listen. About 1:10. Here you go.
Something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years.
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Molly, what do you make of that?
I'm surprised, frankly, that she doesn't have more to say about this, given that she and her campaign know that this is one of the main questions that voters have about her. And one of the main things she's been trying to establish as part of her candidacy is the idea that she would represent a break from the past 4 years. And to not be able to come up with something to say in that moment, she continues to not be particularly nimble on her feet in a lot of these interviews. And this is a very obvious question that gave her an opportunity, frankly, to differentiate herself in a way that would have made news, that would have answered, I think, the curiosity of a lot of voters who want to know how she would lead differently. And she's not very specific in laying that out. And she can't point to a decision she would have made differently, which, in an electorate that thinks that doesn't like the way this administration has led and that doesn't like the track that the country is on, that may not be a very satisfactory answer.
I mean, it's a delicate.
It's like, everyone's like, oh, CNN, thank you so much for telling the truth. They're not just telling the truth; they're just not lying. See, that's the thing. We've got to be honest with each other. It's not that CNN's being truthful; they're just not lying right there. Because in 5 minutes, they're going to go lie about some other shit. But here's a perfect example of how the media cultivates and curates deception. It's what they're good at. And it's frustrating beyond belief. Down below, folks, you're going to see some names scroll by. These are the people last night and tonight who've donated. I want to say thank you to them especially. We always try to put people's names up in lights when they donate to us because it means the world. It keeps our... You're not coming in, cat. It keeps the show going. So these are the people who've helped out. So we wanted to say thank you for that. It means the world to us. Sorry, my cat is literally destroying the door. Hold on. Sorry, loud whistle. You don't want to hear that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nope, no problem. All right, so they're like, we already got her. So they knew what was going on. So there you have it. But you've got the 60-minute interview. I did a video earlier today where you may have seen where Kamala Harris was like, you don't take an election for granted and you want to go ahead and make sure that, you're elected by the people. And it's like, lady, you were installed. Are you freaking kidding me? Here is the 60-minute interview. I watched it in its entirety, and there was one clip missing, and it really was interesting. Her word salad on Israel was gone. Now, that entire interview absolutely sucked, okay? The fact that they had to clip it and it still sucked, that should tell you something. So we're going to play this, but they took this out. Here's the full thing in its entirety. This doesn't sit well with people. People aren't stupid. They know and remember this. So take a listen. This is interesting.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu...
State-run media, folks. They do it all the time. This is the problem. Why do you think Donald Trump didn't go on this interview? I think it's pretty obvious, right? He didn't go because he wasn't going to go and deal with that Leslie Stahl shit again, where she completely just lied about the Hunter laptop and Russian collusion. Why would he subject himself to that? Why not let her go deal with it? It reminds me of the movie Tremors, where they're like in the gas station food mart in the middle of nowhere in the town. And, they make noise where the freezer kicks on, and then the tremor comes up and eats the freezer. And then, the Mexican gardener guy goes, and they're going to turn on an ATV and wire it down and let it just, ghost all the way out and draw the tremors away. He's like, if they like that noise, why don't you make this thing go and let them go after that thing if they like that noise? Well, Donald Trump did that. He basically is like, here, Kamala, tied off the clutch, hit the gas, and you go after that thing if you like that noise. Let her go do it. There's no reason for Donald Trump to go in there and to get edited and have them splice his answers, because they're not going to cover his ass. They're going to edit it against him. And that's what they do. So there's no reason for this. It's ridiculous. Make the noise, pound on the ground, and have the media mob and have the people who are slaking for blood go after Kamala Harris. And that's what happened. She was brutalized. This interview is embarrassing. I mean, she should not be on the stage. There is no reason for her to be the candidate. This isn't me loving Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. The funny thing is people get mad at me for as old as she is. I think she's a good looking woman. I'm sorry. Like, if I had a choice to have Hillary Clinton in office or Kamala, I would mute the TV on both occasions, but I'd much rather look at Kamala Harris. I'd much rather look at Kamala Harris than Barack Obama. I'd much rather probably look at Kamala Harris than Donald Trump. But her policies are complete dog shit. But I think she's a pretty lady. I think she's dumb. Just stupid. I hate to say it, but just dumb. And it's not about degrading women, folks. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to just be honest. She can't answer a question. I told you the moment she got off teleprompter, Americans will remember why they hate her. And that's what's happening. Crazy. Dude, here's her trying to shovel. It doesn't get any... Who doesn't know how to shovel? I thought you were from the middle class. I thought that was your answer for everything. You remember? What's your economic plan? Well, I'm from a middle class home. And in middle class homes, we're in the middle of town. And in that middle of town, we have a bunch of homes. And in those homes, we have people. And sometimes those people are in the middle. Sometimes those people are on the left. And sometimes those people are in the right. But in the end, they're all in the middle. Because they live there, in that town. What the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean? How are we supposed to understand you? How are you going to convey a message to Vladimir Putin? Vladimir, Ukraine is a country. And in a country, it has people. And it has boundaries. And those boundaries are not just physical boundaries. Sometimes they're emotional boundaries. And when I was growing up in the middle class, I had to realize that my town had boundaries, but more importantly, the boundaries that I had were not just in the town, they were out of the town. And sometimes we left the town and it was emotional because we weren't in the middle. What the fuck are you talking about? Word salad, mumbo jumbo. I mean, all you got to do is hold my laundry and we got a spin cycle going on there.
That killed 1,200.
With extra fluff. I mean, come on. I mean, tell me I'm not right. Tell me you didn't just listen to the male Kamala Harris. Have nice lawns. That's right. Here it is. I mean, if you're middle class, you know how to use a shovel, right? I've dug enough ditches. I've used a shovel. She can't figure out how to use a shovel. And she says she has a Glock. My ass. She's like, I was in law enforcement. No, you weren't. You're a fucking prosecutor. Okay. That's like saying, oh, I was in the Navy and I swam, so I'm a SEAL. You're not a fucking law enforcement lady. You're a prosecutor. And you know what? They laugh at you. Every cop hates you. Whenever they have to show up to your freaking trials, they hate your ass. I guarantee it. You're not law enforcement. You're a prosecutor. That's like, and you're freaking butt buddy running mate. He's a war hero. I don't know if you guys saw the meme when he said, oh, I'm going to go get a slice of pizza after the debate. And I said, what, in 1943, Italy? And you're going to go ahead and get the combat ribbon from 1943? Is that what you're going to do? Here she is with a shovel.
1,200, resulting in 250 Israelis getting kidnapped. 100 of them are...
Who grabs a shovel like that? I mean, look at her closeted husband. I mean, he's Jewish, and he knows how to use a shovel. And normally, just saying, not to be stereotypical, you just pay someone to do it, if I'm not mistaken. But he has it on the back hilt and one hand in the middle. You put your foot down, you go ahead and you step into whatever you're going to pick up, and you keep one hand in the middle for balance. This isn't hard. She's grabbing it like it's Willie Brown's schlong.
Remain captive to this very day. Well, more to this.
What the fuck is that? What is that? Middle class my ass. You're not middle class. Middle IQ. You grasp it by the husk. It's not a matter of where you grasp it. It's just a matter of airspeed velocity and weight ratio. Listen. A 6-ounce bird can't grab a 12-ounce coconut. Well, if it's a European swallow, oh, yeah, sure, a European swallow, but not an African-laden swallow. What an idiot. Who? You can't even shovel. You know what you do? You have a photo op and you go, ma'am, can you shovel? No, never fucking done it in my life. Okay, photo op is scratched. Let's go have Doug Jack Mehoff use the shovel, and we'll have Kamala pick up the plant and go ahead and put it in the ground. Kamala's so fucking stupid, she would pick up the plant with a plastic container, and stick it in the ground and start burying it. Madam Vice President, you have to take off the plastic. Why? If she can't shovel, how in the hell is she going to relate to our troops? How is she going to go out and be there during a hurricane? Did you guys see her on her assembly line? You notice how they didn't say Kamala Harris throwing alcohol swabs and water bottles at needy hurricane victims, like they did with Trump. Trump throws paper towels at Puerto Ricans. Fuck. Folks, a little bit slow on the donations tonight. Would love it if we could help out. Mentioned it a couple times. Don't want to be too pushy, but oh my God. It's 8:30 and we're not even close to goal yet. It's crisis time. Just thought I would let you know. I told my wife that I said, if donations are kind of slow tonight, we're just going to get off early. See, this is the lies that I tell. Tim Walz got hit on 60 Minutes too. This wasn't just, the Great Brown Hope. This was, Mr. Magoo, Captain Kangaroo. Well, not Captain. Sorry. Command Sergeant Major, Command Master Sergeant. I don't know what the fuck he was.
Rather than just being a knucklehead.
I think folks know who I am, and I think they know the difference between someone expressing emotion, telling a story, getting a date wrong rather than a pathological liar like Donald Trump.
But I think it comes down to the question of
who this guy is from 60 Minutes. He looks like Bernard Shaw. So when I saw him, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's got, first of all, he's wearing like a tweed felt jacket. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's stuffy, he's not gonna, he looks like, a Chicago cop that, is old school and retired. Or he looks like Lando Calrissian's father. Looks like Billy D. Williams' dad. Colt 45, bitches. I like my malt liquor. I like my women like my coffee, bitter and murky. He hammered him. He shoveled him.
whether you can be trusted to tell the truth.
Yeah, well, I can. I think I can. I will own up.
Okay. This is very similar to the movie Ghostbusters. Ray, when a planar multi-level denizen demigod asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Someone asks you, are you capable of not lying? The answer is yes, butthole. You're running for president, essentially, because we all know Kamala, she's not going to last. We know this. There is no reason to have Tim Walz there. I got a downvote. Why? How could I get a downvote? What did I do? It's Kerry. Yeah, fucker. I really don't want to block him, but he's my only downvote. I never get downvoted. Listen, my shows may not have a shit ton of people watch them, but I'll tell you what, I never get downvoted. At least what I say is based. Folks, please do me a favor. Kerry is a Muslim, horrible terrorist. He's terrorizing my feed. Please throw a bunch of likes. You have to leave. You can't just do it inside. You have to actually like on the lower left outside on Facebook. If you're on Rumble, if you're on Twitter, wherever you're at, just hit the like and let's spam it right now. Donations are struggling, so let's hit the like button. Oh, somebody took off someone felt they hit the wrong button. Okay, I apologize to Kyrie. You're still a douchebag. Okay.
Being a knucklehead at times, but the folks closest to me know that I keep my word.
In your debate with J.D. Vance, you said, I'm a knucklehead.
He doesn't keep his word. Okay, let's go through it. Okay, IVF. Okay, the IVF thing, I don't care. Okay, he went through in vitro. I don't care. I'm a man. Whatever. Okay, I call a barrette, a ponytail, a headband, a hair clip. It's all barrette to me. My wife's like, it's not a barrette. It's a hair clip. It's a scrunchie. No, I'm a guy. It's a fucking. It's a barrette. I'm sorry. Like on my bed. Okay, there's a sham. Okay, there's a mid-size pillow. There's a fluffy king. Okay, under here's the skirt. And then we're gonna put the comforter on. And then here's the duvet. Yes, this is beautiful. Okay. It's a sheet. No, Matthew, it's not a sheet. It's a duvet. Isn't that when you take a shit in and water comes up and no? That's a bidet. Oh, you mean a toilet? A crapper? A shitter? A John? A head? No, Matthew. You're so uncultured. I need to go get the Valance. I went ahead and I pressed them downstairs and I put them in the wash. You mean the curtains? No, it's a Valance. We don't care. So IVF, IDF, Israeli Defense Force, Victor Foxtrot, Indigo Hotel. I don't care. Okay. Your baby maker didn't work. So you got someone else to do it. That's fine. Okay. I don't care. But I was in Tiananmen Square. Okay. That's a memorable occasion. It's like saying I was on the USS Arizona in Pearl Harbor. Were you? Yes. Oh my God. Well, congratulations. You lived. No. That was in 1992. I was on the tour. Well, I asked you what you did in the military. Well, I was in the military and I went on the USS Arizona. There's a big difference. Okay. Yeah, I deployed too. Okay. But I'm not going to claim some of my deployments to Japan unless it's 1938, 1942. Okay. Not going to happen. Yeah, I was in Japan. I once got a bamboo sliver in my fingernail from some gyoza that I had at the Roppongi Navy bar. It was horrible. I once had food poisoning from some chicken on a stick teriyaki. I didn't think I was going to live. I once played ping pong in Ding Dang. Fuck. I deployed to Italy. Oh my God, are you okay? Did you have to sleep with a prostitute who didn't shave her armpits? It must have been horrible. Give me a break. Nobody trusts this guy. This guy's a douche. Anybody that sits here and tells you, oh yeah, we haven't terminated babies after birth. Yes, you have. 9. It's not 0. And when it's 9 lives, it's kind of important. It's not a cat food. Speaking of cats, this guy coins his rank as an E9. He's not an E9. He's not an E8. He's an E7. That's like fucking 10 years of service, man. That's a lot of time in between E7 and E9. Thank you, Ashley Gleason. You're amazing. God, I was feeling like, God, I'm like, do I need to like take off my shirt and like pay you guys or something? For the love of God. I'm just kidding. I'm in a funny mood. Don't take it personal. Thank you, Nanette. Nanette says, Matt, thanks for your service to our country. No problem. I was in country in Vietnam. That's right. I was in Saigon. Charlie was all over the place. And so was Brian and Bob and Fred. We were all out there drinking in a bar. And it got a little hot. There was a man who came in a straw hat. He was wearing black pajamas. And he reached down and... This is hard for me to talk about. He had a little... Oh, thank you, Amy. He had a little doll. It was woven out of bamboo. And yak hair. I'm doing a skit. Why are you calling in the middle? All right, fine. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Matthew. This is Joseph, Minnesota.
Joseph from Minnesota. Joseph, I was in my skit. You missed it. I was going to go into my Vietnam skit, but it didn't work. I'd much rather talk to you. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Well, I want to give you my view of Governor Walz here in Minnesota a little bit.
All right, let's hear it. I'm excited.
So after the 2016 election,
yeah,
when Trump won,
yeah.
Well, he called all the Republicans in rural areas. The areas that they live in is just full of rocks and cows. That was his comment.
What a dick.
Nobody likes him. In rural Minnesota, they all fucking hate him.
Yeah.
It's the cities. It's Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, Rochester, St. Cloud. And then, so the whole state, those are our blue dots around there. And then the whole state's red. I'm sure that's the case in a lot of the so-called blue states.
Yeah. Who goes
I
to
think you had a question of why.
No, real quick. Who goes to a Minnesota game and a Michigan game and roots for Michigan when you're the state governor of Minnesota? Can you explain that to me?
I have no idea. What
a dick.
That's just so fucking wrong. I mean, yeah. He got booed anyways there.
Right.
By the Michigan crowd, and I think the Minnesota fans were telling him to fuck off and stuff like that. They don't like him.
Are they going to win?
Yeah.
Are they going to win?
Crazy.
Do you think they're going to win?
Who's going to win?
Walz and Harris.
In Minnesota?
No, for the election, man. The election, are they going to win? Or
that thing coming up?
Yeah, that big thing coming up in November. Do you think they're going to win, or do you think Trump's going to pull it off?
Well, I thought Trump was going to win in 2020, so I don't know. I think they should. I mean, I think I think the momentum's there. I think the people are fed up.
Yeah.
The moderates, the independents. I think they're the middle class. I mean, they go to the frickin' grocery store and they come out with a small cart of food and look dejected, like, it hurts.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean,
they
it's
so much trying to put food on the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I can't imagine that people are willing to go this far left. I really can't. And honestly, I hate to say it, it's women. Women are going to fuck this up. If she wins, it's because of women.
I think so. I think you're right on that. It's because of the abortion thing. They're trying to make that a big issue, and it really isn't. It's back to the states, so I don't know what the hell they're worried about.
Well,
I get fear that
they wanted to win.
Trump's going to go in and ban abortion.
Right.
And they believe it.
It's fear porn. That's all it is. Fear porn. Somebody just donated real quick, and hold on, Joseph, whoever donated, I missed it.
All right.
Whoever it was, thank you so much. Olivia put that in, so God bless. All right, so you don't like Walz. What did you think of Jesse Ventura? Did you like Jesse?
Actually, I liked him. He ran the state damn good. He got sick of. This is even before Trump with the mainstream media. How Trump called him out. Jesse was calling him out. So I think about mid through his term, he wouldn't even frickin' talk to him. He got so tired of it. But he did a lot of good for the state. In terms of, I think we got a rebate off of, a surplus where he gave it back to the people, the citizens, give a check. And then he lowered a lot of costs in terms of registration for vehicles, and then they had this mandate to get emissions tested. And I mean, if you drove a beater, in the winter, you'd have to bring it in to get emission tested, and if it failed, you have to put about $1,000-$2,000 into the car.
Right.
So he got rid of that. He was a nut job, but he did all right in there.
Yeah, he was.
Actually.
But yeah. Listen, I don't have a problem with Jesse. Last question, then I'll let you go. Minnesota Wild.
All right.
Are you a Minnesota Wild fan?
Yeah, I am.
How are they going to do this year?
Kaprizov, phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal
he's top 10 in the league. No doubt. He's amazing.
And I don't know. We needed another star at least.
Yep.
You guys. I know you're an Avs fan, and you got so much talent there.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
But Wild could give you a run for it. You never know. It comes down to the goaltending too.
It does.
I don't know. It's I've been to Wild games.
Yeah, they're fun. They're good. They're fun. Yeah. It's a rivalry, but hockey season starts tomorrow, so I can't. Well, it actually started tonight, so I can't talk shit anymore. I talk shit during the off season. I never talk shit during the season. It's just not good karma. I don't like it. And like when people start bantering back and forth, it pisses me off. Like when my team loses, they fucking lost. I'm like, you know what, dude? I have thin skin when it comes to that. Not with the Avs. I don't care about the Stros or basketball, but not with hockey.
I can't believe your Astros lost.
Okay.
Well, that shit happens, but
you're fucking gone. No, I can't believe. I could believe. Listen, it was an incredible run. They still have won the division. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they are very successful. Next year, they're gonna have a great pitching. They're gonna have to figure out about Bregman, but hey, it's hockey season, dude. This is what I live for. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Who do you think is gonna win the election? You ask me. I don't.
Well,
what does your gut tell you? And what does your mind tell you?
Well, my gut tells me that the shadow element of the vote is incredible for Donald Trump. I think people are going to vote for Trump, and they're going to do it guiltily. Like, I think it's going to be like going into the confession box in Catholic Church. Like, people are going to go in and they're going to fucking bite the bullet. They're going to count their rosary and get the fuck out, and then go masturbate again and create more sin. I think they're going to go in shamefully, pull the lever for Trump. Because they can't possibly vote for Kamala. I think that is a huge element in this election. Is people who disagree with the
silent majority like Reagan had, pretty much.
No.
Came out.
I don't. Different. I think it's different. This is a shadow vote. This is like 2016. People hated Hillary Clinton, and wanted a change. This is a change election. They want change. They don't want Democrat policy. They think they're too far left. They agree on the abortion thing, but they do not agree with the transgender thing. The lesbian and gay community does not agree with it. They don't agree with sexual mutilating children. They don't believe in late-term abortions. They don't believe in gun confiscation. There's too many moderate liberals who are just like, they're too fucking far left. So my gut is that there's going to be a very big push. I've looked at the numbers on the swing states right now. Donald Trump is not only in striking distance, but in my opinion, winning in every single one, even though some of these are 1 point or less or 2 points. 2016, 2020, the swing states were anywhere between 5 and 8% overperformance for Trump in both elections. They are underestimating his performance, and she doesn't have a big enough lead in order to win these states. I think there's going to be an upset when it comes to a Virginia or a Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota. One of those is going to fall under Trump's purview. And if it does, this is going to be an early night for Trump. But we still got 28 days and anything can happen. Right now, I feel I'm about 75% for Trump, but anything can happen.
I think Trump's going to win Wisconsin. I think he'll squeak by in Michigan.
Ooh,
Minnesota's a toss-up. We were close in 2016, very close. 2020 wasn't as close, but 2016.
Listen, dude, that's not true. 2020 was very close.
2020, we were closer. Yeah,
they were all close. Like, not in Minnesota, but if you look, Donald Trump lost 3 states in 2016. Or one, it was by 90,000 votes. And Biden, it was 3 states, and it was like 65,000 votes. This is going to be a close election. I don't think it's going to be as close as 16 and 20. Here's the thing. You don't have the mail-in ballot fucking bullshit that they had in 2020.
Yep.
And 2016, you didn't know both candidates. You knew Hillary Clinton, but you didn't know her from a presidential standpoint. You didn't know Donald Trump. They know Harris. They know Trump. And they're kind of like they're going to hold their nose and pull the lever for Trump. And I think more people will do that than get more of the same with Biden. I'm really relying on that. And that's the way most elections go. This is a change election, and that usually goes against the incumbent.
I always have these questions in mind I always want to ask you when I get you on the phone. But I had one that's been lingering in my mind for quite some time. Yeah. I was wondering what you thought of Space Force, and have you heard anything from it, or do you know anybody in it? And I'm just asking for my nephews, 2 of them that are thinking of going into the Air Force. I know you don't like the Air Force, but I
like the Air. Wait a second. What do you mean I don't like the Air Force? When did I ever say that? I make fun of the Air Force, but it doesn't mean that I make fun of everybody. You know. I have a lot of good friends in the Air Force. In fact, just retired Master Sergeant of I think it was Master Tech. I don't know, but of Air Force One. I know a couple pilots on Air Force One. I know a couple people who currently work with Space Force. I know people who work in CENTCOM and NORAD.
I want to know, how does that? I know they go through basic training through the Air Force first, and then they go into Space Force branch. And I have no idea other than that.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, when you say basic training, you mean Club Med. So just a little.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
this
think
is
if we do 10 push-ups, that's a workout for us.
Yeah, we call those chair ups, where you guys actually do them on a chair. So here's what it comes down to: is you're going to go through basic. From basic, you're going to go to your A school. You'll do your A school, whatever that could be, and that could be anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months, 9 months, a year, whatever. And then you'll have a C school if you're really shit hot at your A school. And then you'll ultimately be assigned to your squadron or base or wherever. And there's a selection process. And with Space Force, it is a selection application process. And it's very similar to most special programs in the military. You have to be selected. So you're going to want to make rate. You're not going to want to get passed over. You're going to want to do your qualifications. And as long as you, thank you, Catherine, very much. As long as you do those things and you do them well, you're going to need to go to a review board and a panel, and then ultimately you can be selected. But the great thing about Space Force is they need meteorologists, they need photojournalists. It's not just people who are into aeronautics or who are into more of the high end stuff. They need everything. So it's a selection process.
Exactly. So it's a separate branch. In other words, they need all the other facets of being a branch of the military.
Correct.
That's what I understand.
But it's through the Air Force, yes. But it's still a selective service, selective based service. So it's not like, hey, I want to go be in Space Force. That's not the way it works. Make sense?
Yep, it sure does. Okay, well, sorry to take up your time, but
why are you sorry? I love having you on.
I was in the Air Force, 90 to 94.
Okay.
Well, 91 to 94. I was where you early enlistment at 90, but
yeah,
91
you got out.
90.
You got out when I got in.
Okay.
So I went in on May of 94, and I got out in December of 99, at least active military. And then I went contractor for several years after that and had a GS position with the government.
So when I went in, my squadron was already in Iraq, Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of just support, actually. They just came back. Well, they weren't there that long. That war was over when you blinked your eye, as far as, But, so when I went in, I had a degree, college degree, and I was stupid and enlisted. I didn't become an officer like I should have. But
that's okay.
Anyway.
In the Air Force, they treat everyone like an officer. Everyone eats lobster and plays golf.
All right, that's true. But anyways, I didn't have to go to tech school or anything. I just tested out of everything. And I went into the civil engineering squadron.
Oh, wow.
So I was basically the equivalent of Seabees in the Navy, kind of that deal.
I'm very familiar with them.
So that's what I did.
One of the only few naval jobs that wore camo up until like 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago when they changed the uniforms. But Seabees, SEALs, corpsmen, and Intel, usually Intel guys that were attached to the teams, NSWAG, got to wear camo and BDUs. But I wore Dixie Cup whites when I graduated. When I went to board, or when I graduated boot camp, when I went to boards, and when I out processed, I was in dress blues. Otherwise, I was in camo. So I was one of the Navy jobs that, were kind of cross between support and not support. So it's a little bit of both. I've tried to explain it on the show before, but NSWAG is, you detach with the teams, but you train with them. You have to know, the basics. Because if you don't, you're in a situation where you're going to get your ass clipped, and you can't be a liability. So you've got to train with weaponry, you got to train with explosives, you got to jump, you got to dive, you got to know the basics. So it's still support. But anyway, we're going down a whole rabbit hole. But that's pretty much it. So anyway, Joseph, appreciate you calling in, man. I thank you so much. I'm going to wrap her up, and then I'm going to go play Diablo with my wife because we didn't get to play last night.
All right, you have a good night. Nice talking to you, man.
Always, always. Great having so many phone calls tonight. I love it when people call in. It's the best, unless it's a douchebag griper. But, they need love too, especially now that their leader has abandoned Trump. I mean, what are you guys going to do? Thank you, Chaos Girl. I don't know who Chaos Girl is, but I love the name. Thank you for pushing us over gold tonight. I appreciate you doing that. It's very nice of y'all. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. We've got we're not done quite yet. Lincoln Project. Olivia's not here for this, but they got another commercial. And oh boy, it's a doozy. Jeez, these fucking people. I can't stand these guys, man. They drive me crazy. They're so full of shit.
Walked me down the aisle.
Once again, close your legs. It's real simple, man. My wife doesn't have a hysterectomy. We have never had contraception ever, and we have more sex than 2 rabbits in a brothel. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. You can ask her. I'm not lying to you. She can come in here and tell you. I mean, a lot of couples like we have sex once a week. Once a week? What? 2 or 3 times a day if she's home. sex is like a huge part of a relationship, folks. Let's zoom in here. It is hands down. It stems aggression. It kills it. Sexual frustration destroys marriages. You gotta have sex as long as we can, right? Like a blue pill, hook me up to a car battery, whatever it takes. If you're married, you got to do that as long as you can, okay? And once the kids leave the house, well, then maybe, it slows down to anniversary. But man, you got to have sex all the time. I'm sorry. That people ask us, how have you been married forever? A quarter of a century. We have sex all the time. And whenever we start arguing or getting in a fight, sex. If Olivia was here, she'd tell you. She goes, we have to have sex tonight. And I'm just like, what? We're in the middle of a fight. She's like, that's why. We're fighting. We need to have sex. And I'm like, bummer. So whenever I want sex, I'm a real dick. Get what I want. Have a lot of sex. That's the key to a marriage.
Heart rate at 130. Blood pressure dropping.
How long have I been married? 25 years. Well, 23, I think, married, but 25 living in sin. 22? Shit. August 22nd, 2002. 22 years. Yeah. So 22 years. I think that's right. 22 years, 25, and living in sin. Been together 25. And we'll be married forever. My wife and I will never get a divorce. We just love each other. We love each other. We hate each other sometimes. We want to kill each other. But that's when you have sex. And then, makeup sex. It's the greatest thing in the world. Here, watch this. My point was we have sex all the time, and we've gotten pregnant twice. And we tried twice. Now, people are like, oh, you son of a bitch, you're an ass. There's people out there who can't get pregnant. Knock it off. I'm not talking about you. I'm just letting you know. 2 shots, pregnant each time. I mean, I'm shooting. I'm like Michael Jordan. 2 of 2. But the point is that I also haven't made a mistake. So there's ways to do it, folks. And it's not like, oh my God, we had sex, I'm pregnant, I have to have an abortion. I mean, what's wrong with you fucking people? My wife is as fertile as they come. Do things to stop that. And if you can't, then wear a condom. There's solutions. This isn't 1926 where you need to go ahead and step on a rock inside a champagne glass and spin around 3 times in order to not be pregnant. Give me a break.
It didn't need to end this way, Dad. You were so excited to be a grandfather.
Oh my God.
When you walked me down the aisle, those were happy tears. College, high school, sports. I could always count on you. You were my protector.
Yeah, but he didn't fucking abort you, did he? Oh. Tragic story spin. Awooga, awooga, dive. He didn't abort your ass. Can you imagine? Oh, sweetie, I was there for you, but I really wanted to abort you, but your mom wouldn't let me. Please don't make the same mistake I did and abort your child. Please do it for me. Do it for Daddy.
My hero. You always made me feel safe, loved, like I was the most important person in the world. But it turned out he was more important.
Daddy's a Trump supporter? Oh, God. Dad, how? Why? Why? Well, honey, I wanted to reduce the size of government. I want to support Israel. I don't believe in forever wars. And I'm really a big fan of the Constitution. Oh, you fucking fascist savage. Oh, why, Dad? I just wanted to murder my baby. Oh, God. Why?
The fact that I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade after 50 years of trying.
Each one of those abortion bans includes strict legal rules that are designed to be impossible to comply with. How does a mother who is dying in a hospital bed get to a courthouse to prove to a judge that she's dying?
You will no longer be thinking about abortion.
You knew what he'd do. You knew his politics would end my freedom.
You never had the freedom for murder. Sorry. It was a late night decision by a bunch of white guys who went ahead and attached it to the 14th Amendment, which was unconstitutional. You never had the freedom. Sorry. Murder's illegal. So the states are now deciding. And if you don't like it, fucking move. If you have such copious amounts of time to get railed by somebody without using protection, then you got enough money to go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Just go. I mean, it's not that hard. You just hop over the border like illegals, right? Simple. Just border hop. Go find a sanctuary city. Real simple. Go to your employer. Go work for Starbucks. They'll pay for you to murder your baby. And then you can go get a venti fucking latte when you're done. Okay? You never had the freedom. There was no freedom. Nope. Freedom to have an abortion. Nope. Not in the fucking Declaration. Not in the Constitution. Not in the Articles. Nope. Never a right. Not once. Nope. Never. And speaking of rights, what about the freedom of the baby? Oh, it's just a clump of cells. It's just a tumor. It's a tumor. That's all it is. It's a tumor. Because I am morally flexible. Okay, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's any accountability for the things I do on this mortal coil. So I'm just going to rip the baby's arms off and crush its skull with a fucking ball-peen air hammer. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with you? It's my freedom. It's my freedom to squish those little fucking clumps of cells. How do you feel about kittens and veal? Oh, fucking that's barbaric. How can you kill an animal and eat an animal? Fuck, you people are horrible. You don't kill a kitten. How can you fucking kill a kitten? I'm so innocent. That meow. It's a cat. Your fucking priorities are screwed up. You have serious fucking mental issues if you choose a cat over a human being. You would never. I'm sorry. This might bother you, and this might be graphic. So warning. Would you grab a pair of pliers and rip the kittens out of your cat when it got pregnant? You give it a little ether, You put it on a little heart monitor. Beep, beep. That's actually faster. Cat's smaller heart, smaller animal. Beep, 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 beep. Would you do that? Oh, right. Let's just get the 4 snips here, the salad tongs, and, meow. 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 Fuck, this is a big litter. Meow. Meow. You're supposed to be a female cat. Well, this one's transgender. Let's save it. Your fucking priorities are screwed up. I love how you guys do this. I love how you pretend that it's not a life. I love how you pretend that it's not going to be a life. Listen, you're a woman. You know what it's like to bake a cake. But it's not a cake. It's just a bunch of stuff. It's egg and flour and oil, a little water. I mix it up and I put it in a pan. It's not a cake. Right, but you're going to put it in the oven, right? Well, yes. And you're going to bake it for 45 minutes until the bubbles rise and then go ahead and pull it out with a toothpick and check it, right? And assuming that you leave it in there for the appropriate time, in the end, you will have a cake. Is that correct? Yes. So when does that cake become a cake? The moment I bite it with a fork. How does that make any fucking sense? Conception is life, and that thing is alive, whether you want it to be or not. Now we just need to decide what is an acceptable form of murder, and let's solve that problem. Let's just agree. It's murder. Everyone knows it's murder, or it wouldn't be pro-life. It's pro-life. You're horrible people. It's not alive. Well, what do you call it? Pro-choice. No, pro-death, because that's the opposite of life. The antithetical lines of delineation between A and B is death and life. Is that correct? No, it's a clump of cells. It's pro-choice. And I'm all for it. I think there should be limitations, massive. In 1970, 1980, you guys told us that this was going to be for emergency purposes only. And now, you fucking, it's chalk mark on a belt. You guys are like C. Thomas Howell in Red Dawn and just, carving out the people you've taken out with a dagger on your fucking AK-47. Your Kalashnikov. You guys celebrate this shit. I'm so happy I've had an abortion. It's liberating. It's liberating. I promise that if you ask that child, are you happy your parents aborted you? The answer is they can't because they're dead. So you answer it. Do you wish your parents aborted you? I've asked that. You know what some people say? If it was the right choice for my mom. Are you fucking stupid? That's like Islamic extremist stupid. I'm going to go blow myself up for our cause. Wouldn't you be better if you stayed alive? No. Me blowing myself up is the best way I can support my cause. So the best way for you to be a free human being is by murder. It makes no sense. But still, I'm with you. Rape, incest, life of mother. Okay, that's 2%. Can we talk about the 98% that don't fall into that quadrant? What is it? Birth control. No, it's not. It's not birth control. No, don't you call it birth control. Yes, it is. Because that's what most of those things are. It's not because of rape and incest and life of mother. Those are the outliers. When we're talking about the 67 million babies that were murdered, it's convenience. Okay? If you guys could drive in an Easy Stop and get 10 gallons of gas and also have an abortion, you would do it. Give me a break.
My rights. My life.
It's actually 2% because I'm going back to the 1960s. I'm talking about the 67 million. Nowadays, it is. But I'm talking overall. Of the 67 million that have been aborted, 2% fall into the category of rape, of incest, life of mother, etc. Okay? So that's what we're talking about.
You chose hate over me.
Fucking dude, the music is yes, me voting for Donald Trump got you killed. Listen, if anyone's trying to kill, it's not Donald Trump, okay? He's not trying to kill you. And not one woman has died from neglect from a hospital. Give me a fucking break. There is no state law. There has been malpractice, and malpractice happens all the time. And I am sorry about that. And that is shitty. And you should sue the fuck out of those hospitals and those doctors and everybody and the TRICARE and the health insurance and the board. Go get them, sister. I'm with you. Clean them for everything they're worth. Okay? But there is no state law that says that if you are in need of an emergency abortion that you can't have one. It's a complete lie. Complete fallacy. If it's a medical emergency, you're good to go. The fact that you guys use Lincoln, it's just half the shit that they put out. It makes me sick. Just absolutely sick. Last one, funny one. We'll end on a good note. That was a downer. We don't want any more downers. That was depressing. This one's funny. Maybe. Oh, this is so good.
Volcano 350 there for Monday. Superstorm on Tuesday. We could see.
Dude. Come on. First of all, it was really nice to have all those callers tonight. It was awesome. Good to have everybody on. And this is hilarious. Okay.
350 there for Monday. Global superstorm. Here's the forecast. Volcano 350 there for Monday. Global superstorm on Tuesday. We could see maybe about 200 inches of rainfall, wind gusts up to 1,000 miles an hour. Godzilla Wednesday. I'll be honest, I have no idea what's going to happen on that day. After that, though, how about this to finish off the work week? Low humidity, lots of sunshine. with highs in the upper 80s heading into next weekend. Here's the forecast. Volcano 3.
Everybody, please be safe. We'll be on tomorrow. Hurricane's supposed to hit late tonight, and I believe tomorrow. Just be safe, right? And being safe is being smart. It is having shelter, not staying low ground. If storm swell is going to be in your area, I'm telling you, it's no fucking joke, folks. Hurricane Harvey, we were 75 miles inland, and we just had an unbelievable amount of water. You just had a hurricane go through. The ground is saturated. It's permeated with water. It's not going to be easy. Get yourself out of there. If you need money, if you need a friend, if you need some place to stay, whatever we can do to help, we're here. I want to thank everyone who donated tonight. I'll do one more scroll as we do closing. We got a lot to do. We've got 4 weeks, and I am going to make a call out to every Christian out there. We've got 275 on right now. Yeah, Twitter's just banging. 63 on Facebook. Fuck you, Facebook. Twitter, Wimkin, great to see you. Rumble people, good to have everybody here. These are the people who helped donate tonight. Thank you so much. You need to go find a gun owner and find a Christian. Like literally put an ad out in the paper, put it on Facebook, go to your Facebook group. Everyone has one where your community is at, and tell them, I am driving people to the polls. If anyone needs a ride, I've got between 10 and 11 open. I'm going to be driving people to the polls. It's going to be an all-day event, and we're going to be talking to our community. And if anyone needs help, bring a friend. Gun owner, Christian. Christians, only 51% of Christians are going to vote. Do you understand that's 20 million votes? It changed. This election's over. If we can get a 75, 85% turnout with Christians, don't fucking complain. If you're upset that God is no longer in our lives, if you're upset that we are not having a level of faith, that we're turning our back on the word, it starts with your vote. It's your civic duty. It's the one thing closest to godliness that you can do. You get to empower yourself to have an opinion. And down ticket voting absolutely matters. You need to call your friends, call your family members, do whatever it takes. Get as many people as you can to vote and take them there. You got to make sure that you're still registered. People are obviously, Georgia today, I think is your last day to register. It happens. You don't know if you're registered. Don't check on the day of. If you have not filled out a mail-in ballot, fill it out now. Take a picture of it. Send it in. Check with the election committee. Check with your state gov. They will let you know if it's been entered. And if it hasn't, then you show up on election day. If you can vote early now. It tells them who's going to vote. Enough. As many people who can vote, vote. Take as many Christians and gun owners as you can, because the question you should be asking is pretty simple. Did you vote last time? No. Okay, did you vote in the primaries? No. Are you registered? No. If I could get you registered, would you vote? Yes. Great. I don't care who you're voting for. I'm gonna help you. We're going together. Let's go. We have got to get this older community out and voting. We've got to get Christians out and voting. It matters. It matters. I am sick and tired of just ripping on liberals. I want to rip on the GOP a little bit. And the best way I can do that is to give them the presidency, give them the House, give them the Senate, and let's fucking go. Let's go. But if you allow this hoochie to come in and run this country, I promise you, I said it. 2016, I said we're going to be fine. In 2020, I said we're going to be fine. It's going to hurt. It's going to be worse than Carter, but we're going to be fine. We will not survive 2024. We will not survive a Kamala Harris presidency, because the next things that they do alter our country forever. It's not going to destroy our country. It's going to alter it forever where it is unrecognizable. They will make Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, Guam, and everywhere else, the Virgin Islands, a state. They will absolutely expand the Supreme Court. They will take out the filibuster. They will do everything they can to ensure that they never have to give up power again. Oh, there'll be elections. Of course there will be. But it won't be like it is today. You have a voice. And if they steal it, well, then we have a decision to make. If they cheat, there's a decision to make. But you know what? They're not going to have to cheat if you don't get your ass out and vote. Get your ass out and vote. Stop fucking being lazy. If you're a Christian and you believe in God, I want you to think about the moral leadership that has been around for thousands of years. And what did they have to do? What do you think happened with the Romans throwing Christians in pits? What do you think about the Crusades with the Moors and the Saxons? What do you think about the persecution that's happened to Christians forever? What do you think about the crucifixion? Do you think that these people didn't want to do what they had to do? Do you think they didn't want to go through what they had to do, the sacrifices that they had to make? Great. Then get your ass out of your Afghan, off your lazy boy, turn off Wheel of Fortune, and fucking vote. Okay? Because Justin Barclay is going to tell you, he's probably going to read some Bible verse. Me, I'm going to cuss. If you don't vote, I don't want to hear it anymore. In fact, when you call into the show, I'm going to ask you the question, did you vote? No, I'm going to hang up on you. We have a job to do. We are citizens of this country. It is your patriotic duty to vote. I don't want to hear any more bullshit about a stolen election. Fucking vote. Exercise your right to have a revolution every 4 years. Every 4 years, we are permitted to overthrow our government, and we are given the keys to do so. If you don't vote, then I don't want to hear anything about change needs to happen. We got to unite. We got to do things. It's time to take our country back. You don't give a shit about it if you don't vote. I'm sick of hearing, I'm not in a swing state. I'm in California. Vote. It'll never change unless you vote. And here's the last thing. Don't vote for president. Vote for your state, local, and city government. And while you're there, just check Donald Trump. Get your ass out and vote. Enough of a lecture. I've told you many times. Every night for the next 4 weeks, you're going to hear me tell you that. You got to vote. Get out there. Do your job. Your mom and dad taught you right. Stop being lazy. Vote. Folks, thanks for watching. We'll be on tomorrow. Have a good show for you recorded. We'll have some news, and we will see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. God bless. Take care of each other. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for letting me cuss at you a little bit. Thanks for laughing with me. Thanks for all the callers. I really enjoy it when people call in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Take care of each other. And also go over to wimkin.com, WIMKIN.com. You got to get a profile pic. You got to get a username. You got to fill out all the registration, put in a valid email. 24 hours, your account will be approved, and just sign in. Don't forget to write down your username. It's really important. If you have any problems logging in, let me know. We're going to end off with the Wimkin commercial, and then we're going to close out. Don't forget to go to thedumshow.com, buy yourself some coffee, some cool shirts, and all that type of stuff. God bless everybody. What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. I want to talk to you about Wimkin.com. Now, Jason Shepard and the Wimkin team came into my life about 1.5 years ago. They were saying that it's not a Twitter knockoff, that it's just like Facebook, it's fully encrypted, completely safe, and your privacy is paramount. You can live stream, it's 100% made in the USA. And I took a little time, not going to lie. I wanted to make sure that this was the right company, and it took me a little bit to research and take part in the network, and I will tell you that I am 100% right behind Wimkin. Jason Shepard has created an amazing network where people who are sick and tired of being censored and pushed around by big tech, this doesn't happen on Wimkin. He protects your privacy, and he's willing to stand up to the government and anyone who tries to get it. He's already done it once. It doesn't make him very popular, and that's why he needs shows like us and people like you to support him, to get behind him, and to ensure that the most important thing that we all possess is the right to freedom of speech and to share our voices across this great country. Join Wimkin over at wimkin.com today.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.